Hi, Tom here. Let's be real. Starting something is easy. It's staying in motion that's hard. You felt it, right? That surge of energy when you start a new project, a new workout, a new dream. And then, somewhere along the way, life sneaks in. You slow down. You doubt yourself. You get distracted. And before you know it, all that beautiful momentum you built vanishes. So today, we're not just going to talk about getting started. We're going to talk about something way more powerful. How to keep your momentum alive, unstoppable, and growing stronger every single day. Because if you can master momentum, you can master anything. Let's dive in. All right, first thing we gotta understand. Momentum isn't some mysterious magic that just happens to lucky people. It's not some secret gift that the universe only hands out to a chosen few. Momentum is built. One tiny action at a time, one tiny choice at a time, one tiny win at a time. Imagine it like this. You're standing at the top of the hill. You pack a tiny snowball with your hands. You give it a little nudge. At first, it barely moves. It's slow. It's awkward. You're like, hello, Earth momentum. But then, every inch it rolls, every little push you give, it starts growing. And growing. And growing. Until eventually, it's tearing down that hill at full speed, unstoppable, picking up massive size and force. That's your life. That's your dream. That's your success. It all starts with that tiny nudge. And here's the key. You can't stop pushing. Even when you don't feel like it, even when it feels small, even when no one's watching. Because momentum isn't built in the big heroic moments. It's built in the quiet pushes that nobody sees. Push after push after push. That's what separates the people who stay on fire from the people who burn out and wonder what the heck happened. So if you want momentum that's unstoppable, you gotta promise yourself right now, tiny push every single day. Even on the worst days. Especially on your worst days. You show up, you push, you move the ball downfield. And guess what? Every little push is another brick in the unstoppable momentum machine you're building. All right, now that you get how momentum is built, let's get into the next piece. Because knowing is great. But now you gotta have a system to keep it alive. And that's where non-negotiable micro habits come in. Let's talk about it. Now, here's where a lot of people mess up. They think momentum is about making some giant, life-changing move every single day. Nah. That's a straight up recipe for burnout. The truth is, momentum lives in tiny stuff. The little things you do every day that nobody claps for. What I call non-negotiable micro habits. These are small, simple, can't miss, no matter what habits you build in your life. And I mean non-negotiable. Like brushing your teeth. You don't stand there arguing with yourself about it. Just do it. That's how you gotta treat these micro habits that keep your momentum alive. Here's a few examples. 5 minutes of movement, even if it's just stretching. 1 page read from a book that inspires you. A single deep breath and a mental reset when you wake up. Sending 1 email that moves your goal forward. Tiny, simple, repeatable. Because here's the magic. When you stack micro habits, you're not just maintaining momentum, you're compounding it. Day after day, brick after brick, push after push. Before you even realize it, bam! You're 100 miles down the road while everyone else is still getting ready. All right, so you've gotten your micro habits locked in. You're moving every day, even if it's tiny steps. But here's the next trap you gotta watch out for. Overthinking. And if you don't handle this one right, it can kill your momentum faster than anything else. Let's talk about it. All right, so you're moving. You've got your tiny habits stacking up. You're starting to feel that momentum build, right? Here's the part where most people crash and burn. They start overthinking it. Like clockwork, the mind kicks in. Am I doing the right thing? Is this the best use of my time? Maybe I should start over again. And boom, paralysis, analysis, momentum, dead in the water. Look, when you're riding a wave, you don't sit there thinking about the physics of water, displacement, or the angle of your board. You just ride. You stay loose, you stay present. You trust the work that you've already done to get on your next wave. Same thing with momentum. When you feel yourself starting to overthink, shift back into action. Any action, big, small, whatever. Because momentum, even messy movement, keeps your momentum alive. Overthinking is a trap. Action is the escape. So next time you hear that little voice trying to make you second guess everything, laugh at it. Thank it for trying to protect you. And then get back on your board and ride, baby. Speaking of riding, there's another piece to this puzzle. You can't ride forever if your energy's dead, right? So in the next part, we're going to talk about one of the biggest secrets to keeping your momentum strong. Protecting your energy like it's your most valuable treasure. Let's get into it. All right, this one's important. Listen carefully. Your energy is everything. If your energy's dead, doesn't matter how good your plan is, it doesn't matter how fired up you were yesterday, you won't have the fuel to keep your momentum alive today. So you gotta treat your energy like it's sacred. Here's how you protect it. Say no more often. Stop giving your time and your energy to people and things that drain you. Guard your environment. Stay away from negativity, online and offline. Watch your inputs. What you watch, listen to, and talk about either charges you up or bleeds you dry. Move your body. You don't have to climb mountains. You just have to move. Get the blood flowing, shake the dust off. Fuel yourself right. Water, sleep, real food, sunlight. And the biggest of all, give yourself permission to rest when you need it. Rest is not weakness. Rest is reloading. You're not a machine. You're a living, breathing energy source. Protect your charge like your life depends on it. Because honestly, it kind of does. When you protect your energy, you protect your momentum. And when you protect your momentum, you become unstoppable. Now, let's talk about the fuel that keeps you energized and fired up for the long haul. It's not coffee. It's not motivation quotes. It's something way deeper. It's called your why. And if you don't connect to it daily, your momentum's going to run out fast. Let's dive in. All right, Now we're getting to the real core of momentum. You can have the best habits, you can move every day, you can guard your energy like a samurai, but if you forget why you started, if you lose connection to your purpose, eventually you'll slow down, lose steam, start wondering, wait, why am I even doing this? Your why is your fuel. Not hype, not motivation speeches, not pressure from anyone else. Your reason for moving. And you need to connect to it daily. Not once a year, not once a month, every single day. Ask yourself every morning, why am I pushing today? Who am I doing this for? What life am I building? Feel it in your chest. Write it down if you have to. Speak it out loud if you need to. But whatever you do, don't lose sight of it, guys. Because when your why is strong enough, you can weather any storm. You can push through any wall. You can keep moving, even when the world feels like it's trying to pull you backwards. Reconnect to your why every single day, and you won't just keep your momentum. You'll become unstoppable. And speaking of fueling yourself, there's something else most people completely forgot about. Celebrating. And trust me, if you're not celebrating your wins, you're missing one of the biggest momentum secrets out there. Let's talk about it. All right, you've been stacking tiny wins. You've been moving every day. You're guarding your energy. You're connecting to your why. Now here's the part where most people skip, and it's a massive mistake if you do. You gotta celebrate. And I don't mean throwing a party when you hit some giant goal. I mean celebrating the tiny stuff, because momentum loves positive reinforcement. Finished your workout today? Victory dance. Sent that scary email you've been avoiding? Time for a high five. Got out of bed and moved your dream even 1 inch closer? That's a win. And it deserves to be recognized. Because here's what happens if you don't celebrate. Your brain starts thinking, why bother? No one cares. But when you celebrate even the tiniest win, your brain lights up, dopamine kicks in, you feel good, and guess what you want more of? Movement, progress, momentum. So don't be too cool. Don't act like your little wins don't matter. They matter. Every time you celebrate, you're building a bigger, stronger, faster you. And that, my friend, is how momentum stops being just a moment and starts becoming your lifestyle. Now, before we wrap this up, I got one final piece of momentum puzzle. And honestly, it's probably the most important one of all. Let's finish strong. All right, you've built your tiny habits, you're guarding your energy, you're reconnecting to your why, you're celebrating your wins. But now, here's the secret weapon nobody really talks about when it comes to momentum. Forgiveness. Yup, forgiveness. Not for other people, for yourself. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna have off days. You're gonna feel tired, lost, distracted. That's okay. That's called being human. The real danger isn't falling down, it's staying down. If you want unstoppable momentum, you have to forgive yourself fast. Shake it off, laugh if you have to, and get right back to pushing that snowball. Because every champion you admire, they're not perfect. They're just masters of the bounce back. So here's the truth. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to keep moving. Tiny pushes, daily wins. Protect your energy. Stay connected to your why. Celebrate every step. And when you fall, because you will, get up smiling. That's how you build momentum. That's how you become unstoppable. And that's how you create a life that's worth freaking celebrating. Hey, if you even got one thing out of today's video, drop me a comment below. Tell me what tiny action you're going to take today to keep your momentum alive. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, join the crew. We're just getting started, and I want you on this ride with me. Take care and be calm.